Did you ever pass notes when you were in school? I passed a lot of notes. I got caught quite a few times. I still have the notes that I shared with my best friend, who is still one of my closest friends on the planet from the 8th grade. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today's card project is all designed around a stamp set I created to celebrate notes. These notes might be a little different than the ones you got busted for in the 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. It's hard to say. The idea behind this note set is to give people notes of encouragement, and I'm excited to share this set with you, so let's stop talking and get into the notes. That card project is coming up next. Here's a look at the products I'll be using for today's card, and this features a new set that I designed called Noted. Now, there's so many little things in here. So I've got this little notepad, right? And then inside the notepad, we've got some core headlines, well, titles. Today you're winning at, celebrate the little things, check off as you go, and a list that's all about you. And they are structured for creating a list to send to a friend or maybe one of your kids or just anyone you want to drop a note to. There is a checkbox list that fits right into that area of the stamp. Cute little check marks, stars, or hearts. Over here, this is a little bit more related to a list that's all about you. So it's just a really fun mix and match stamp set with all kinds of ideas for different types of notes. And then the die set is really simple. It's just going to cut out the note, and we've got this for, well, it's not lined up perfectly, but just for those larger greetings there. So I'm going to be cutting that out, and we're going to be cutting the dies apart. I also have this cute little just a note, and I want to show you something. If you end up getting this and yours shows a little opening there in the S, that is not how it actually came. There's actually just a little indent mark for the S because that space was actually too small to completely cut out. So just wanted to point that out. And I have some ivory colored cardstock here, and I grabbed a little bit of blue ink because I thought, I'm going to go for the basic look of a piece of, like the old school cardstock and the note paper. We're going to give it a whirl, and I'm going to try a shaped card. So let me go cut all of these apart with my little nippers, and then I'm going to start planning this card. What I want to do today is make a shaped note card, but I'm going to make a white note card for my base. And this is actually the 80-pound Neenah Classic Crest in the Solar White, because it's going to be a little easier to cut through. So all I have to do here is make a little shaped card to hold my little note list. So all you have to do is just do a partial die cut, right? Where you don't cut all the way through, because the actual piece of the note card will go on top. So this will be, oh, my tape just fell apart. Well, oh, Cathy. All right, and again, make sure that's straight and tape. And I'll go ahead and run this through my die cut machine. All right, now I have a cute little, a cute little note card that's shaped, and this is going to be the base of my card. So let me grab my Misti so I can stamp my list. The next thing I'm going to do is, I've got my Misti here, and I actually have my grip mat, my waffle flower grip mat in here, and I'm going to stamp the note right on some cream cardstock. And I'm going to stamp this using some marine ink. This is the Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated ink. I thought it would create that nice look of the note, old school note paper. So we'll just ink this up, bring it down, and transfer. I'm not pressing too hard because I just want to keep those delicate lines. And I'm not too worried about the little splotchy part that I got there, because that's not going to transfer. But I want it to look a little whimsical, like a old school notepad. And press. All right, that looks great. I'm gonna clean that up real quick. And now we'll stamp in the checklist. I'm going to start my checklist down one line because I want to have enough room for my greeting up top. So what I'm going to do is put on some music. I've just got some simple black Onyx ink here in a cube from Gina K, and we'll go ahead and stamp out our list. All right, there is my list. And actually, I think while I'm here, I shouldn't have lifted that up. I am going to put my checklist on. And what I will do is I will line this up. It's designed to fit right in this little side area. And I'll stamp this down and I'll just mask off the very last little guy while I'm inking up. I'll just do that with a little piece of tape. Okay, we'll just cover that up like that. Ink up the squares, little check boxes. And I like to use tweezers for this because I always get ink all over myself. Come on now, get up there. There we go. There's our checklist. Like that. All right, perfectly aligned. Okay, now for the greeting that I'm going to put at the top. I am going to use the check off as you go, and I pulled a piece of surf blue cardstock from Simon that I thought would be a nice way to at least have something with a coordinating color. So I'm going to set that aside, pop this guy in here, and we'll put check off as you go right up here. I could stamp a couple of them if I want, but I think one is going to be fine. And I am going to emboss this with white powder. So let's take the anti-static powder, get that on here to remove static and oil. I've got my Simon Says Stamp clear ink. I just heard my grandkitty make a commotion. He's got the, well, he's got the zoomies right now. We're not sure what's happening, but we're gonna bring this down and transfer the ink. I'm not really using my press as much today because these are so delicate and I don't want to smush. I just want to transfer and get the greeting ready to go. Yep, that looks great. Press. I'll keep that closed for a second. Let me grab my powder. I've got my little paper catch here, and I'm going to be using some Simon Says Stamp Fine Detail White. So I'll just pick this up. And yeah, that looks good. And I will sprinkle on my powder so we can emboss this little greeting. I think that's going to look great. All right, funnel this back in. All right, that looks great. Totally pops. Let me get the coordinating die. All right, I will get this taped into place and run it through my die cut machine. I'm also going to cut this panel out, and actually I'm going to use my manual die cut machine. There are times where my Gemini 2, my new Gemini machine, it has so much pressure that it almost cuts too hard. And so sometimes I'll just go ahead and bring in my manual machine. The reason I like a electronic machine is just because it's so easy on my wrists. Oh, that's a Gemini plate. Hold on. And actually, let's cut on that plate. But I also do use my spellbinders as well for many other things. This is such a great machine. And what I have 2 of them actually. So we'll run that through. Some cuts are just easy, and that's not hard on my wrists at all. And then I have my beautiful little list, cut and ready for the front of my card. But I forgot I need to stamp on the inside of my card. So let me do that. I'll grab my Misti again. So I'm going to take my little shaped card, open this up. I think I'll just put it right here because I think that will hold it really nicely. And then I'm going to stamp, sometimes it's the little victories that give us the strength to keep moving forward. And that was my idea with this set. Just like, you know, make an encouragement set, because not everybody is killing it every day, despite what you see on social media. I know that I am not, and many people that I love and care about are not. And, you know, sometimes we just need to give a little encouragement, remind people that getting through a day is often going to be all you can do, and that's all that is needed. So that's the goal behind this greeting set. Now let's keep it based in reality, because you know life is wonderful, but it can also be hard. Okay, we're going to stamp this down, and again, this is very delicate, so I don't want to overstamp. I'm just going to give it a second to transfer. I think that is beautiful. So that's the inside of the card. All right, now we can move on to assembling the card. Now for one of my favorite little tricks ever. So the front of the card is here. Okay, that's going to be the front panel, and this is going to glue on to the front. So we'll have this nice little reinforced shaped card. So what we need to do is add some adhesive, and I'm going to use my Gina K dot runner here, get right to the edge. Sometimes I like to do this on with a little cardstock because I hate getting dot runner on my glass mat. Even though these mats are very easy to clean, inevitably I never see the dot runner, and then all of a sudden I have dot runner on a project that wasn't intended. So we're just going to do that. And once we get that on and make sure there's, you know, not too many goombies, give a nice coat right here to the inside. Make sure you are set, you know, that the front of your card is where it needs to be, and then all you do is you press this into the corner. You can use your Misti for this too, but I love using my Scor-Buddy for this. And then you have your little shaped card perfectly lined up. And this is okay. Now, if you have any exposed adhesive on the back, what I do is just take my adhesive eraser like that, because there might be a little, because your shaped card is going to be a little smaller than the panel. So now we have that. Ooh, so cute. Let me add my greeting. I'm going to take a little bit of my Connect glue here and just put some dots right here on the back, or on the, I made 2 layers of this because I thought, well, this will give it a little heft without really having to pop it up, right? So just put your, put your little liquid adhesive, and then just line it up, pick it up, and wiggle that together like that. And squeeze. So now you have this cute little check off as you go. And that we are going to put right here on the front. It's so cute. I love it. So I'm starting out. Here's the fun thing about this little card. Number 1, it's something interactive. It's something that your recipient can actually take and do something with, right? It might make them smile. They might not, they might just leave it out to remind themselves some of these basic things are all you really need on any given day when things get a little dicey. So we'll pop this up here like that and press. I can hear the cat again. He's got the zoomies today. Press. How sweet is that? Now, I won't use the checkmark stamps because, I'm not, there's another set that you can do on here, and that is where I would use the check marks, and that is for the ones where you say a list that's all about you. Super smart, my fave, really kind, total favorite human, really funny. Like there's so many different things, and then you would check those off with either the heart, the star, or the little check mark. But for this one, this little interactive card is for the recipient. So that is the finished card project. But I was thinking, I wonder if I could make a tiny envelope, even though if I'm sending this in the mail, I would put it in a US A2 envelope. I'm going to grab my, what is it called? My 123 punch, 123 board punch board. I don't know what it's called. And I'm going to go on a search really fast in my house, although you won't have to wait, for some note paper. Maybe I still have some in my stash, so I'm going to go see if I do. I found it. I still have a stash of scrapbooking papers in my basement, although this is a little warped because it's a little humid down there. But this is a classic sheet from Scenic Route. Scenic Route, see? Are they still around? This is old, but see? Lignin and acid free. It's lasted forever. And this is exactly, although see the blue? Everything's coming up roses. But here's what I don't know is how small do I want this to be? Because I want to make, a regular envelope. So let's measure my card size. Hold on. I always have to remind myself how this works. Okay. My card is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. So I think I'm going to have to do the, 3 by 4. So my paper size needs to be 6 1/4. This is so hard to read. Let me cut a square of, make sure, 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. All right, let me cut that real quick and then we'll start making the envelope. So wish me luck, because here we've got to go to 2 3/4, right? That is the, and is it score line A? Let me double check that. So I start here because I can't do this coming at the top. I always mess up the score line. So we're going there, okay? And punch. Guess that's it. All right, now bring it around, and again, this time it has to go right into that groove. Feel that groove? I can feel that groove, so let's do that. Wait, that's not, see, it's not lining up. There we go, there we go. I don't use this enough to really know what I'm doing. Was I supposed to? Oh, I was supposed to punch. Did I punch? I did. Gosh. Then 2 3/4 again, right there. And again, it locks in. I swear to you, this tool is so amazing, but it is also confounds me every time I use it, every single time. All right, punch. And now you just line up that groove. You can feel it lock into place and finish out our envelope like this. Okay, punch. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, here's one of my favorite parts of this, and that is the corner rounder on this thing is so good. Like it's smoother than any corner rounder I have, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round all the corners for a nice finished look. Like that. Did I get it? I did. And oh, this is going to be so cute because, let's see here, it did turn out that I have a little bit of that on the front of the envelope. So, oh, there's all those, as my friend Ian calls them, little paper poopies. You guys go over there. So see, this will fit in here, no problem. Oh, so cute. I know it's a lot, right? And actually, this is something I think you could put in the mail. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to fold these in. Now I know there's nothing really exciting on the inside, and that's okay. That's okay. These were not the two-sided papers. Does this go like that? And then this goes, I want to figure out. Yeah. Okay. I want this to be how the envelope is on the front. So if that is the case, someone told me I was doing this wrong. They said, you're doing it wrong. Because every time I hear that in my mind, I hear, you're doing it wrong. But I am gonna trim a little tiny bit of this off just with my, I'll come in here just to kind of create a nice little flat edge like that. There we go. Because those would come in and then that would come up like that. That's not wrong, is it? You know what they say, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Okay, so now I need to put my tape. And I have the SSS Tear Rific Tape. I used? Yeah, I have used this one. I like this tape because it's so easy. It's easy to tear. I don't think I got enough there. I'll put a little more on. But also the release paper comes off very easy, and I love that too. So we're gonna go here to get right there in that little area. And I think when that comes in, yeah, I do need a tiny bit more up here. I'll just put it here. Did I get that right? Yeah. Okay, so now to build the envelope, take my very dangerous pokey tool here. This, I swear, I have, in my live streams lately, I've been bleeding. I've been cutting myself because I am not as careful with this little friend as I should be. That's okay. All right, get all the release papers off, and I want to just make sure this has a nice press and press, okay? And bring that up and press. How cute. So now I have my little envelope. But if we're going this far, I thought I would stamp something on the front of this. So hold tight. I want to grab a stamp set. One of my favorite, this is one of my favorite stamp sets for decorating envelopes. It's called Good Mail Day, and it just has cute little things on here. For example, not a bill, delivered to, happy mail for, good mail, just for you in the house, no cash enclosed, happy mail. So the thing is you can put these, you know, in any way you like, and I thought it would be cute. Let me move this aside. And you can stamp these little friends right inside the Misti, because look at that. It just goes right there, and it's stuck, and it's good to go. And I thought maybe I would say, I don't know, maybe just a handmade hello, but it would be cute to do the checklist too, just because, you know, my card has a checklist. But I think I'm just going to stamp, or do I want Good Mail Day? Because this is so small, and I think that I could get this, I think I could send this through the mail. I'm going to try it, and then I'll have to report back. Let's just do a little friend like that that's perfectly lined up right in. No, let's crisscross it a little. Good Mail Day just for you. It's just a fun set for decorating envelopes. And here, again, I'm going to use my black ink, and I'm going to stamp this down. Now this time I might bring in my little stamp press just because I've got a couple layers of cardstock in there, and I'm not sure how it's going to respond, but I think it looks great. Okay. All right. And there we go. So now we've got Good Mail Day in the house just for you. And we'll lift this up. Okay. Set this aside. Then we fold this down and again, give that a nice press. And of course, when I seal this up, I will seal it with my Tear Rific Tape. But this little guy goes right in here, seal it up, and it's a Good Mail Day just for you. So I love this idea. I mean, you could have gone smaller perhaps, but maybe not with this envelope because it kind of needed to fit the width. But that is my little finished card project. This little set called Noted is designed, I made a little shaped card. You could use this as the focal point on any design. You could put something like this on any type of blended background that you created and just make a fun checklist to encourage and support the people in your life that you love. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you, so hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. I'll see you back here with another card project soon. Here are a few more card projects featuring stamps and dies from my CZ design collection at Simon Says Stamp.